Okay, I'm not gonna drag this review out, so we're just gonna go ahead and hop straight into it. Wish Upon is a supernatural horror film, and it's directed by John R. Leonetti, and it stars Joey King, Elisabeth, Rohm, Ken Hon Lee, Shannon Purser, Sydney Park, and the story is basically Jonathan Shannon gives his 17-year-old daughter Clare an old music box that promises to grant its owner 7 wishes. Soon, Clare becomes seduced by its dark powers. As soon as her life starts to radically improve with each wish, everything seems perfect until she realizes that every wish she makes causes the people who are closest to her to die in violent and elaborate ways. Now, see, the whole ride home, when I got through watching the movie, I kept looking up and trying to think. I said, is this movie a horror or is it a horror comedy? Because if this movie is a horror comedy, then this movie does exactly what it's supposed to do, because it had some really funny moments in it. But if it's a straight up horror movie like I'm looking online and reading it, it sucked. But no, getting to a positive note, let's talk about some of the things that I did like about this movie. I liked how funny it was. Literally, I seriously, like, I thought that there's some really laugh out loud moments. Even when the people started dying, I'm sitting here laughing and trying to figure out, okay, how are they gonna die? Because it's got like this Final Destination feel to it. So you're trying to figure out, okay, what's gonna happen to this person? Ooh, I know they're gonna die this way and die this way. The only problem is it was poorly executed, unlike some of the ways that were in the Final Destination movies, and some of them weren't necessarily creative or original. Like, some of the deaths literally just seemed too stereotypical. Basically, you saw them coming. Now, there was one kill in there that I didn't see coming. There was 2 in there that caught me by surprise, but they still didn't infect me in any way. And like I said, I mostly laughed throughout the movie, and I thought it was supposed to be a horror comedy, but it's not. It's a straight up horror film. And I hate to hear that, because again, with the slew of horror films that we've been getting, we've only had a couple of bad stinkers this year. The only bad stinker I can really think of is Rings was, you know, kind of a stinker. Resident Evil, I don't even consider that horror. The Bye Bye Man was a stinker. And so we didn't have too many stinkers. We have had a lot of awesome films like Raw, Split, It Comes at Night. These films that kind of transform the genre that they're in and make us think, especially the movie Get Out and everything surrounding that movie. But it just didn't work, and I hate to say it. Like I said, if this movie was a horror comedy, then it's one of the funniest horror comedies that I've seen in a long time. But it wasn't a horror comedy, and that's the thing that kind of stunk about it. Now, I will say there is a few characters in here that I did love seeing. Okay, one of the first characters I want to talk about is Shannon Purser. Hashtag Justice for Barbs. I liked her in this movie. I thought she was cool playing like Claire's best friend and everything. She's basically playing the same role that she played in Stranger Things, except she had less screen time, basically. She had to share it with Joey King's character, and she also had to share it with Sydney Park's character. Now, Sydney Park, I'm used to her because of her character in The Walking Dead. She was also in the Nick at Night show Instant Mom, but I really didn't watch that too much. But hey, at least they actually cast real teenagers in this movie. They cast young actors to play teenagers, and that's always a good thing to do. And as far as our lead, Joey King, goes, no offense to Joey King, but she's not a lead character. I'm sorry. In this film, she just wasn't that great. I mean, I've seen her in movies where she's great, like she was great in The Oz and Powerful. I thought she was great in The Conjuring. Hey, I even thought she was really great in White House Down. But in this movie, she was just a horrible character. Instead of the director making us care about her character, he made us literally want to hate her character. I'm serious, like literally, I'm guessing the director's like, okay, I want to create a character that nobody's gonna like, that nobody is gonna relate to. If that's the case, then that's what Mr. Leonetti got. And like I said, I didn't want to go in hating this film. I had heard how negative and bad it was, but I said, you know what? Maybe this is one of the times where the critics don't know what they're talking about, and we as movie fans are gonna really enjoy the movie. Nope, not the case. Unfortunately, this movie was a stinker. And if it would have been labeled as a horror comedy, I would give it a higher score. In terms of comedy, I would at least give it a 6.5 to a 7 out of a 10. But in terms of a horror film, which is unfortunately classed as, I'm giving it a 3 out of a 10. I'm sorry guys, I thought the whole concept was cool and everything. I thought some of the visual kills were okay. I thought we could have gotten a little more visceral, but I think they were trying to stick to that PG-13 era, and a lot of times when you do that with horror films, it just doesn't work. In terms of how many cups I would give this film, and you guys might be wondering, what do you mean by how many cups? Well, basically, I'll submit my reviews a lot of times to this site called Movie Java, where they turn movie fans into actual movie critics, and we basically give our score based on 1 cup being terrible and 6 being phenomenal. So in terms of how many cups I would give this film, I would give this film a 1. It was a terrible movie. Sorry. Hashtag how many cups. Let me know down in the comment section below. What did you think about Wish Upon? Do you plan to check it out? Have you already checked it out? Do you think it should be classified as a horror comedy? Do you think it would help its chances in the box office? Let me know what you think about this down in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for checking out the review. And as I always say, remember to become a savage, stay a savage, and peace out, y'all.